I've got to say, I am really fucking excited about this. There are undoubtedly way too many podcasts in the world, so we waited a while to launch one at Hunter Brook. We waited until we had the right idea, a podcast that would actually be worth your time. Welcome to The Hunt, where Hunter Brook's team of investigative reporters and intelligence analysts explain the biggest scams from the golden age of grift and graft to people who know scams very well, whether they themselves have been the victim of a scam, an unwitting accomplice to one, or have just been called a scammer, fairly or unfairly. People like our first guest, Caroline Calloway, one of our rotating co-hosts and author of the book Scammer, famously called a masterpiece by the Washington Post. For those of you who don't know what Hunter Brook is, or are only tuning into this podcast because you heard me on Pablo Torre this week, we are a new kind of media company, where we don't do ads or paywalls, and you won't hear any of those on this podcast. Instead, we monetize the truth. Figuring out what's happening in the world and how it's different from what people in power say is happening. The idea is that journalism has created a ton of value for everyone except the organizations that produce it, for the funds that trade trillions of dollars based on news articles, for the plaintiffs' lawyers who turn investigative reporting into cases worth tens of billions. Meanwhile, investigative reporting is going extinct. Hunter Brook was founded to change this, and it's a radical idea. In addition to our newsroom, Hunter Brook Media, which publishes truth to power, investigative reporting, and breaking news, we also have a couple other affiliates. Hunter Brook Capital, an investment fund that can trade based on the articles that we report, and Hunter Brook Law, which can turn our investigative reporting into the kind of litigation that brings restitution to the people who have been harmed. The best part of this model? Everything we do incentivizes the truth. It's the only way we make money. Not how many clicks we get, how many subscribers we can bring in, but whether our reporting is deemed correct by two different arbiters, the courts and the markets. Since we launched this company over a year ago, our stories have generated incredible accountability. Companies we've exposed have been investigated by the federal government, charged by state attorneys general, sued for RICO violations and deceptive practices. Stocks have collapsed when lies have been exposed. Branding has changed. The radical experiment that is Hunter Brook is somehow working. But the thing is, while accountability is our North Star, we also want people to find out about these stories. That's why we sent reporting on the Trump administration to ProPublica, a story they broke last week that ended up reaching millions of people. That's why we published this big investigation with Pablo Torre into the CCP and Harvard and some of the best athletes in the world. And it's why we're launching this podcast. Because every day we find unbelievable stories, the kind of stories that make you interesting to talk to at parties. And we now want you to know about them too. So subscribe to our podcast, The Hunt. Tell your friends about it, but not too many of them, because you have to be the most interesting person you know.